As we explore quantum body and the reality beyond, today I want to share with you some ideas regarding language. So, we're told that about 40,000 years ago, humans, Homo sapiens, departed from other species, including other hominids, by creating a language for stories and for creating constructs about their experience of reality. So, our brains, the human brain, has a language center, actually, more than one language center, a network of interconnected neurons for various aspects of language processing. These areas are primarily located in the left hemisphere and play different roles. So there's Broca's area located in the frontal lobe. It's responsible for speech production, including planning and executing the movements for speech. Then there's Wernicke's area, situated in the temporal lobe, somewhere on the left side. It handles language comprehension and deciphering the meaning of spoken or written language. And then there's the angular gyrus, also found in the parietal lobe. It bridges Broca's and Wernicke's areas, facilitating integration of different language aspects like grammar and meaning. Then other parts of the brain also contribute to language experience and language processing. Sensory and motor cortices both coordinate movements for speech articulation. Basal ganglia and cerebellum help control the timing and coordination of speech movements. And the hippocampus plays a role in language learning and memory. What about other species? Well, primates and songbirds exhibit some degree of language-like communication. Their brains lack some of the same dedicated language across areas as humans. They rely on more distributed networks for vocalization and communication. And primates, bonobos, chimpanzees, show language centers similar to us, but not that well developed. Okay, so now let's go a little further. Language is the way we construct reality. So language does not describe experience, it describes experience, but also constructs experience. Okay, without language, we would not have the human universe. Of course, now there are many kinds of language. There's linguistic language, there's artistic language, there's the language of physics, the language of biology, the language of architecture, the language of music, and no human can actually access all these languages. And that's where AI comes in, because AI is a large language model that helps us actually navigate our constructed reality. The brain has all these networks that are the neural correlates of the experience of language. Language is what is created by the separate conditioned mind, conditioned by language, conditioned by culture, conditioned by science, conditioned by history, conditioned by economics, conditioned by ancestors. The brain, in turn, is sculpted by experience, but originally comes from genes. And the genes are the record of the memory and the experience of our ancestors, human, animal, microbia. The entire history of biological evolution is in your genes. But even going further, the genes themselves are made of alphabets that we call ATCG, which are ultimately made from carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, which are originally manufactured in the crucible of burning stars. 50% of those atoms in your body are from the Milky Way galaxy. The others are from other galaxies. And remember, there are 2 trillion galaxies. And those atoms are sucked into our galaxy by a phenomenon called gravitational wind. So this is the human universe. The human brain corresponds to the experience of what we call the human brain. Other species have different brains, and therefore they have different experiences of what we call the universe. In other words, there's no objective universe. And actually, even your mind has been conditioned by these constructs through language since the beginning of human history. And that includes everything that has been constructed. So, a baby is born, it has these different networks that have the potential for language. And that comes through our evolutionary history, ultimately, cosmic evolution and biological evolution. And all of that allows us to construct the human universe. But the mind itself is a result of language and processing of human constructs since the beginning of time. The genes that create the brain are actually the history of all that, but the brain mirrors the conditioned mind. What is ultimate reality? Okay, what is reality without language, without a construct? And that is what we are exploring. It's not even quantum, because quantum is a language which assumes the objective world. But there is no such thing. That's naive realism. Actually, ultimate reality is the formless, infinite, irreducible, borderless, shapeless, incomprehensible, unimaginable field of possibilities that is beyond human comprehension and gives rise to all things that humans can't comprehend. If we want to really understand ultimate reality, then we have to not only understand that everything we experience is a construction of language. First, there was the word was made into flesh. But there's a reality which is infinite that allows multiple experiences of the multiverse through different biological organisms and their brains. And these are all appearances on the screen of non-local reality, which is infinite, unbounded, irreducible, formless, and essentially the real you. Aham Brahmasmi. You are the universe.